Eddy Merckx is the best rider ever, and his career is so inspiring for everybody. I'm proud and excited to be part of this legendary brand. With our team of passionate and dedicated people, we are building the highest quality bikes for demanding cyclists. Every model name is linked to a victory of Eddy's incredible career. So, luckily for us, he won 525 times, so we don't need to worry about future naming of our models. At Eddy Merckx Cycles, we have a very distinctive design identity, and there's always a technical reason behind. This is basically the standard in the market, straight bladed forks. If you compare this with our design, we only use bended forks, which means that with this bend we can offer higher compliance on the fork, right? We want to offer stiffness but also compliance. Now on the frame, to offer this power under control, we focus on the stiffness on the front section all down to the bottom bracket and the rear stays. So what you can see here, we use huge cross sections on the front, on the head tube, all down to the down tube, bottom bracket, big chainstay cross section down to the dropouts. We also always use asymmetric chainstays. So as you can see here, on the chain side, we have a limitation on clearance from the chain and from the tire. However, on the opposite side, we use the maximum width of the bottom bracket to assure stiffness. On the seat stays, we want to offer compliance. So the cross sections are very slim, even with a kink here on the chainstay and as well on the seat stays. So this acts as a pivot point to offer highest compliance. Then we have a very smooth transition to the top tube with a tapered section to keep stiffness on the head tube. Now the seat tube is always a teardrop shape, so aerodynamic, optimized. And for the rear wheel clearance, we offer a cut out so-called tendon to keep the rear wheel on the right position. Power under control, this is what you feel when you ride with our bikes. To achieve that, stiffness, stability and safety are the key. Eddy himself, he always talked about stability as the key focus to keep the bike under control and in the same time to offer the highest safety for the rider. So how we make our product safe? Let me show you this on a fork. So this is a standard fork where you see the different diameters here with very sharp edges on the fork crown to assemble the cone of the headset. This is the way our fork crown is look like. You can see the difference is enormous, where we have huge tapered section with big cross section. So we have a very smooth tapered section here where we assemble the bearing directly on the crown. So our crown here, compared to a standard fork, is lighter and is stronger for the safety aspect. Then how we keep the taller frame sizes as stiff as the smaller frame sizes. We do different taper section on the steerer tube. Here we highlight in red color the tapered section of the steerer tube. So this one for a small frame, this one for a tall frame. So you can see for a taller frame we can use the whole height of the head tube to keep the fork stiff. So this assures that even a strong and tall rider can experience the same stiffness as a small rider. We believe we offer the highest stability on all the bikes out there, So this brings you this amazing safety feeling when you ride it. So for optimal handling, the key point is that you feel sitting in the bike instead of sitting on the bike. So how do we achieve that? We believe that every rider size needs to have a specific geometry. You can see that on a small frame size compared to a big frame size, a smaller rider sits more to the front, where a taller rider sits more to the rear. So we adapt the C-tube angles as well as the chainstay lengths to balance the weight to keep him in the center of the bike. So this is what we call the progressive evolution geometry. On the quality, we make no compromises. So that means that all our products, frames and forks, are tested to the highest ISO standards. Besides that, we do our own tests with higher loads and longer life cycles. We also test every frame and fork, the weight and the stiffness in a very small tolerance. On top of it, we have developed a new technology, which is the CT scan, basically a radiography to see through the frame, to see inside how it looks. Especially on carbon frame, this is very relevant. We want to avoid any failures in the process of manufacturing. This has a really high cost in process time and equipment, and why we do so, why we are proud to offer a full strict lifetime warranty on the whole range of our bikes.